Hi everyone, welcome to a new episode of Sweet Kitty Crafts. Great of you to come by and spend some time with me. My name is Yolanda and welcome to you all. This is my fifth English episode, so times two, it's 10 episodes, that's quite a lot. For starters at least. Some of you might have noticed, but there's a Sweet Kitty Cast podcast Ravelry group at the moment. So if you are interested, stop by. We can start discussions and ask stuff and introduce yourself if you like. And if you introduce yourselves and don't say anything special, I'll just say your name and say thank you. So Gail Marie was the first one who introduced herself. She's a guest in the group, so welcome Gail. Thank you very much. I have some nice stuff to show you today. I'm just feeling a bit stressed. Don't know why. I always turn red when I've got the feeling I'm a bit stressed. It's really the stress hormones. I'm not really stressed, but just got to build up after stuff. It's pretty annoying. I've got a table full of stuff. I've got some things behind me. I dyed yesterday some lovely yarns. I'm going to show you close up in a minute. I've got acquisitions. I've got lots on my needles. So let's get started. Maybe you want to grab some coffee, or maybe you're already knitting on something. That would be fun too, because it's like knitting with a friend, I think. First I'm going to show you a bag, because it's on my lap and it's pretty big. I just wanted something to store my knitting in. And of course there are project bags, but all the project bags are laying around, and I thought this one was nice. It's by Claire. It's a Dutch crochet designer. It's pretty big. It's a shopper. And I bought it at Wool House, and it's a Dutch company. And Wool House is like the yarn house. So that's a nice internet store. I also bought something from Etsy sellers, and this one is from Craftfulness. I already showed you some of her stuff. This is a nice bigger size bag with some sheep on it. So Craftfulness is Sandra. She lives in the Netherlands. So here is where I store my scrap yarns in. And I'm going to show you my project I'm working on at the moment. I bought some more stuff. Maybe it's a good idea to show you the bought stuff first. Just a little notebook I bought at a store over here. You can color the pages and then use it for your notes. I thought it just was cute. It's always handy to write things down, because I easily forget what I'm supposed to remember. Then there was a company called Fall Yarns, and I was looking for a Flegel beater. I don't know if you know that stuff. It's like a crochet hook, a very thin one, and it's used to put beads in your knitting. Oh, I gotta warm up because I'm not sure what I'm talking about. Looks like it. Well, this is to pronounce it right. It's from the Gossamer Web. No, it's a Flegel beater. I will write it down here below for you. So the thing is, you put the beads on this side, and there's a very tiny crochet hook, very tiny. So it stores a lot of beads. You can stringing on from this end. There's a little curve there, and you can use this side. And when you're knitting and want to attach beads, you already got some stored on here. So you use the little tiny crochet hook, and then think it's a nice thing to have handy when you're to have at hand when you're working with beads. That's what I wanted to say. So it's the Fliegel beader. That's what it is. This is size 0.8 millimeters, and I ordered one size bigger because this hook is so tiny I can't see it, hardly can't see it, and the yarn I'm using is a little bit fuzzy, so it doesn't grab too great. It got stuck all the time. But what I was talking about was the company, which is Fall Yarns in the UK. I wanted the Fliegel beader, and I knew it was sold on the Etsy shop. If you search Etsy for the name, you will find a company which is situated in America. But the shipping was even higher than the hook was, so I thought that was a bit a waste of money. So I searched the internet and I found a company in the UK, but where the shipping was much lower. The costs were much lower. So since I'm in Europe, it's much cheaper to order it from over here. So it was Tall Yarns, and they sell yarns and books and needles. And I bought this book, Dye One and Knit One, and it is easily written, and the pictures are pretty basic, but there is so much information in there, really, about dyeing, if you like to dye stuff. And there are a few things knit up, so you can see what the result of your dyeing is. And there's a lot of talking about just like this, how to achieve that, and how to make color variations, and also to how to use little bag clips, you know, to close your bags. You can use them on the yarn to divide the yarn for colors and stuff like that. And I thought it was really useful. If you're looking for fantastic photographic pictures, you're not gonna get it, but it is just very clear. And she also sells dyes, and the dyes are already they already got some citric acid in there, so you don't have to mix. Just add water, and they're like little crystals. So yeah, there's immersion dyeing, there is graduated dyeing, and yeah, how to do it when you're like to make color repeats. I talked about it last time a little bit, about winding on chairs, and so to measure out the color repeats. So I thought this was a very, very useful book, and she's got 30% off of all her dyeing books and pigments. So that was a pretty good deal, I think. That's what I got from them. I also ordered some little charms to make stitch markers, and also to put some in my shop. It's already on my list for a long time, and I didn't get around to it, but these are nice. They're little tulip things. Look how cute. And yesterday a whole package of little kitty cats arrived. They're just all kinds of kitty cats in there. There's one got away, so this might be easier to show it to you. Yeah, I'm on a very bright light. I didn't tell you what day it is or what time it is, but it's only 7:50 yet in the morning, and today's Wednesday, the 12th of October. So it's still dark, and I've got a bright light shining in my face to give it a bit of background lighting, or you won't be able to see me. I'm a bit all over the place today. I don't know what's wrong with me. It's just weird. Yeah, just gonna show you few charms, which are little hearts, which won't show up too great, but gonna appear in my shop, and they're gonna appear on my yarns that I'm gonna sell. I'm just gonna add a stitch mark with every strand of yarn you're gonna buy from me. Skein. Alright, oh, let's talk about yarn then. I've been dyeing up some yarn yesterday and it turned out great. This one I'm going to show you up first. I'm going to call it the Call of the Peacock because they're lovely peacocky colors. It's on my merino nylon sock base. I'm going to rename my sock bases because I've got an active sock and a soft sock. But I just thought, well, this is Sweet Kitty Crafts and it's inspired by the kitty cats I've got. And if you feel this yarn, yeah, it's not as soft as my Persian cat, but she is so soft. I just thought, well, my active sock, that's the sturdier sock base. It's not rough, but it is a bit, yeah, it feels a bit stronger. So I'm probably gonna call it my Wildcat base. And then there is the same base with a little sparkle, so it's gonna be the Wildcat Star base. Something like that. I've got a merino and silk, which is pretty soft, so maybe the house cat, the stray cat, whatever, I'm gonna figure it out. This just feels like my little Persian cat. So this is going to be the Call of the Peacock. I dyed 3 of these. They're got a blue, a little bit of green and purple. They're really lovely colors. This is how it looks in the skein. I've got one that is not skeined because it's so nice to better see the colors. Yeah, it's strange. You always go to your favorite colors when I'm mixing dyes and dyeing yarns. It's just how people work, you know. Things you love, you like to make, and colors you're not that interested in, it's just harder to make stuff from. I hope it shows up, because always green is always turning into blue. And just yeah, that's just with the artificial lighting and how the cameras work. There's just no way to avoid that. Or you might be in the studio or whatever, but well, I'm just doing this for fun and I'm not that advanced. So that was the Call of the Peacock. That's on my merino nylon base. Sock base will be called the Persian sock base. The other one is going to be called the Fall Wind, because fall is already over here, and when you see the leaves are all crumbled up and the little berries in there and some chestnuts and all kinds of stuff, and they're just the wind is blowing them by, and yeah, there are all kinds of beautiful colors in there if you just want to see it. And that's all about observing nature and finding inspiration. So this is then the Fall Wind, and this on my sparkle base. You can see the little sparkles of stellina in there. So this will be superwash wool, some nylon, and a little, I think it's 5% stellina. I think it's a lovely lovely color scheme. I dyed 3 of those, so here's the one in the skein. There's never one alike, you know. You always got a real a special one, because it's all hand dyed. I use the same colors. I used 3 pots at the same time and putting in the colors at the same places, but the water is doing its own thing. So there's no one is like the other one. They're all unique. So that's good in some way. If you want to make a bigger project, it's always good to mix up the skeins. So yeah, it will be more distributed. Yeah, that's it. So I was talking about the scraps, and I'm working on a scrap blanket at the moment. I just wanted to make a granny square blanket, and just a big one. I saw some other podcasters making some, and they look gorgeous. But Sandra of the Craftfulness podcast talked about one of hers, and she said she started at a sort of a rectangle and wanted to make a single bed spread. But at some point you're gonna have enough width but not enough height, so she started going back and forth to make her blanket longer, and it looks gorgeous. But she also said at the beginning you can use all your scraps, but when the rounds get longer you're gonna use 50 grams balls at one time. And I thought, well, that's not really what I was looking for, because I really wanted to use up to the tiny little bits. So I started the square, and it's just a basic granny square, nothing fancy. It's just 3 double crochets, in the next space, and then another 3, and then on the corners you're gonna chain 3 and then do another 3 double crochets just in the same chain 3 of the last row. So it's very basic, you can find the pattern anywhere. It's just a basic granny square. So I finished 2 because I did this one and I was working the last round, and then I thought it's already taking up quite a lot of yarn. Not a lot, but if you're using scraps, you're gonna use bigger scraps for the outside. So I thought it might make a nice size, and then I started the next one, and I'm gonna or just sew them together or crochet them together with a contrasting yarn, or maybe just a bare white yarn, or just this will I can figure it out when I'm getting to that. But I got 2 finished, and this is really for scraps. You can use the tiniest little things, just starting in the middle, and the tiniest balls, and when you go to the outer edge you're gonna use the bigger scraps. So that was that's a fun thing. So using all the little scrap things, and the bigger scraps for the outside. I forgot to show you a little bit of yarn I bought, and it was from another store. I'm sorry, I'm really messed up today. I don't know if you're familiar with the company that makes Drops. It's Drops Yarn Studio, I think it's called. And I think it's called in one of the Norwegian countries, or Sweden, or not that sure. But I just wanted to have some nice sock yarn. Yeah, don't have that much yarn, really. But I do. This is just also to use for my knitting needle experiment. And I know these yarns hold up pretty good, and they're sturdy. They're not super soft, but they last a long time. I think I've still got some socks from 3 or 4 years ago, and they hold up very good. So this is just a super wash wool with nylon, and it is Drops Fable, and it makes a very nice pattern when you knit it up. So 2 balls were about €5.90 or something. It's not too bad. If you wait for a sale, there's often a sale 25% off, which is a very good deal. So this is the colorway, if there is a colorway, I'm not sure. It's yarn group A, so it's it's color 162. So if you're interested, this is the blue one. And it's got some kind of Jagerrat patterning. And this one would be very nice for my son, because he loves the black and the grey stuff. This is colorway 913, and it's all Drops Fable. So, and this one is 903. Well, they might be very nice socks. So you don't need any patterning really. You can just knit plain vanilla socks, and that's always very nice if you're going somewhere and you just got some knitting that is doesn't need any of your concentration. I'm gonna take a little bit of my water. As always, when I'm talking that much, my throat gets dry. I'm getting some daylight now, so yeah, you can really tell that, yeah, just the end of the year. The days are getting shorter. There's less daylight, and although I love, you know, the coziness and putting on candles and closing the curtains and just, yeah, making it cozy inside. I miss the daylight. I really struggle with the mornings and waking up and, well, feeling good, you know. I get depressed really easily, and just the way things are. Just probably when you get older, it's things are getting more a hassle. You got to struggle more to make things right. You know, when you're young, everything just goes and you don't think about it. And when I went past the 40, I just start thinking more about things in life and things that can go wrong, and yeah, how about the future and that kind of stuff. Just, yes, how the brain works. Last time I showed you some socks I was working on, and I put in the little progress keeper. Oh, the creeper thing, it's just weird. I always think about creepers. So I knitted quite a few rows. So they're progressing nicely. This is just on my my own sock yarn, and it was I bought a lot of bear yarn in all kinds of mixtures, and I can't even remember what this one was, but it feels quite smooth, and I think it might be a BFL base, but the company I bought it from was more expensive than the one I ordered from now, and I'm just a begin dyer, and nobody wants to buy a skein of 20 euros from me, probably. So I thought I'd go for the little bit of cheaper yarns, and they're not less quality, but just the company I buy it from is more specialized for larger quantities. That's what I should say, probably. So this is working out nicely. I made a little foot for my son, and that's pretty handy if you're working on socks, because they're not around all the time and they don't want to fit things on all the time. So just gonna put a little foot in here. Just a little bit piece of cardboard, you know, nothing fancy. And then you can see, well, I'm this far. Gotta knit quite a few rows before I get to the heel. That's not a problem. You do it for fun. It's not a chore. Not supposed to be a chore. And it's in my little owlie bag from Yibiro shoes. So this is the nice drawstring bag. Another pair of socks I'm working on are some of mine, and I'm working on the Carbons needles, which I was really eager to try out. And let me tell you, they didn't disappoint me, because I really love them. And it might even be my favorite so far. Can't help it. It's just there is a little bit of I can feel the transition between the carbon and the metal part, but it's not obstructing anything or what. And this is knit up in The Girl in a Bad Mood from Sandra from Craftfulness. It's just on her standard sock base, which is the same as mine, 75% superwash wool and 25% nylon, which I used my sockies for. I've got my foot length marked out, which is actually 10.10.5 inch. Got big feet. And you gotta start your heel, I think 1 inch before that, so I marked it with a blue tape. So I know this one goes in my sock. See? And you can see you gotta knit to that line and then gonna start the heel. I'm gonna try the afterfoot heel. I'm using the sock pattern from Susan B. Anderson. I already got her crafty class, and it is, can't remember how it's called. I think it's called My First Socks or anything like that. And she uses the afterfoot heel. I've tried it once before. I was not really keen about it, but it doesn't matter because you gotta try new things. You're learning new things, and things you never liked before might turn out to be working great. So I'm gonna struggle my way through, and maybe I just enjoyed this time. The positive thing about the afterfoot heel is if you wear out your heels, which I really never do, but if you do, sorry, you can replace it very easily because it is knitted as last, so you can frog it out and put in a new one. With maybe some leftover yarn or another contrasting color, that's no problem at all. And if you're making self-striping socks or using the Fable, which makes a real nice patterning, it will break up if you starting with the heel, the rows are getting shorter, so there will be a disturbance in the striping pattern. So if you're annoyed by that or just want very nice and clean socks, the afterfoot heel is then a very good idea because you knit the foot to the length of the cuff. Maybe you can go to cuff down and stop with the heel. That's the same concept. And then you unravel the waist yarn you used to place in the heel, and the heel can be knit as last. The downside for me is the Kitchener stitch, and I can do it, and I got a little marker on my bag which exactly tells me how to do it, but I just don't like the motion of it. Just me. I just practiced Judith Magic Cast on, which is not difficult at all. So if you start with that, with the toes, or maybe the figure 8 was my favorite, so because it's so easy. You don't have to struggle with the Kitchener stitch, but you got to do new things. Are you gonna stuck wherever you are? So, socks. 2 knit-alongs I'm working on. Shawls. There was one that was in hibernation for a long time because I was already working on too many stuff. So I'm gonna show you that, and as last I've got 2 finished objects, already wearing one, and this one over there I'm gonna show you. So yeah. Good. There are lots of mystery knit-alongs of course going on, and I want to tell you something. There is a knit-along with socks at the moment, and it hasn't started yet, but it is free until the project starts, and then you gotta pay for the pattern. And it's from the same one I'm gonna already knit some socks from. I just can't remember what it is now. I'm gonna put it down for you down there because it might be interesting. If you're in time, you can get the pattern for free. They're doing I think it's the Halloween sock and the Halloween shawl, and it's free for now. So this one is called the Butterfly Dreamcatcher, and it's from Lily Go, and it was a Pico cast on, so that was new for me. I'm knitting for many years, and I always got into my comfort zone, and just the standard things, you know. And since I'm watching podcasters and experiencing just seeing new things, and just wanted to try new things, and that's good. I think it's very good. Keeps you sharp. So it was a Pico cast on. There are beads in there, and there were a lot of you're starting from the bottom up. So that was casting on lots and lots of stitches, but the good news is you're gonna decrease, so there are gonna be less stitches all the time. So yeah, sorry, it's purple again. Just love purple, pinks, blues, greens, just the peacock colors probably. So yeah, the beads are showing up. The little, they look silver, they're little golden beads. I'm using the yarn I already had in my stash. Look, it's a lovely little arch, and then there is a few wrapped stitches over there with just a bead there. I think it looks pretty nice, and it's soft. I'm going to show you the yarn in a minute. And there are quite a lot of stitches, as you can see, but they're getting fewer and fewer, and that's always nice because you're getting tired or maybe bored, and you want fewer stitches and not more. There are very nice photo tutorials in this one about the wrapped stitches. And now let me show you the yarn. I'm using some cubic needles I found again. I think they're from Rosewood. They are supposed to relax your hand a bit if you've got problems with your hands or your muscles. These are supposed to be good. Now I think they're good. I'm not sure it makes a world of difference, but well, it's nice to have something else in your hands for so once in a while. So this is the Drops Alpaca Mix. It's 100% alpaca. And this is it. And it's the colorway is 4434. And I'm knitting this on. It's a problem with wooden needles. The numbers just wear off. So yeah, well, it's just what the pattern says. Always when you're knitting lace, you gotta go up a few needle sizes. So I think it's gonna be 4mm or something. Sorry. So this is Drops Alpaca. It's very soft. I love it. I've got a lot of stitch markers on there, just little rings. You can see that every pattern repeat. There's also a lovely stitch marker from Yubiro Sue, which is a little piece of pie. I love it. I always started using it at the right side row at the beginning, so you know which one is right and which is the wrong side. So this is a shawl from Lily Go, and the next one is from Boo Knits. And I should have warned you, because if you are knitting the shawl and you don't want to get spoiled, because you already saw the clue you didn't want to see, I'm sorry. Better look away, because the Boo Knit shawl is taboo. Probably more people are knitting that one because she makes just gorgeous shawls. I'm pretty up to date. I'm working on the border section. I finished the border setup, and now I'm working at the border, and it's only knit this once, she said. So there's the beading going on. That's why I needed a Flegel beater. And it's designed to be a 2-color shawl. I just want to make it this one a 1-color shawl, and it's look for the label first. It's from Ice Yarns. It's an off-white. I thought it might be gorgeous for Christmas. It's made in Turkey, and it's a Master Alpaca Fine. That's how it's called. And it's from iceyarns.com or yarnshopping.com. That's where you can find them. There are a massive amount of stitches on the needle, so I don't think this is going to show as lovely as it is, but this is the first part of the lace section. I'm just gonna put it up and hope you can see. There is a row of eyelets. And now we're working on the edging, which contains beads. You can see This is not the beads section. The beads are where the holes are. Well, they're tiny little silver beads. And I don't think they show up. Well, there's one over there. But yeah, she designs gorgeous shawls, so I'm hoping as soon as this one is blocked and finished, it will be as equally beautiful. So we will see. I've got some of her shawls in my queue in Ravelry, but I don't think I ever knit one of her shawls. But there are a lot of podcasters who do, and they really enjoy it. So we will see. I think it will turn out nice. Yeah, gorgeous. We will see, but nice it already is. So when I started watching Andrea Sue's podcast, Andrea Sue Knits, she's a lovely lady. I've watched all of hers, and always got excited when she finishes uploading a new one. She just started she bought a knitting machine, and I already got a knitting machine for a very long time because I knitted all my children's sweaters when they were young. I did Intarsia, Winnie the Pooh, and all the characters little children like. So, well, I use it once in a while. I bought a motor for the. You manually have to move the carriage, and I didn't have the strength for it. So we bought a motor a few years ago, and I really didn't get much use of it since then. I don't know why. But I removed the dust, and it's all ready to go. And I knitted some fabric on it for my project bags, which is lovely, but just didn't get around to making them. There's a little fabric with sheep. I've got roses, and just knitting long pieces of fabric and just cut them up for bags. So how did I get to the knitting machine? Yeah, Andrea Sue. One of a few her earlier podcasts, she talks about the Cladonia shawl, which is gorgeous. And I'm stupidly, yeah, I've got it over here probably, because I was working on the show when I was at my laptop here, the kitchen table. So this is Cladonia, and who's the designer? Because she is Kristen Kapoor, I think she is, because she's a very gonna open it up, but probably gonna regret it because I don't know where I was. This is the picture of the shawl. You probably all know it because it's very famous. Cladonia. Come on, you put her name on there, right? And she from Through the Loops. It's really not on here. Sorry, but it is the Cladonia shawl. And it's a 2-color shawl. I could put my marker back on because I won't be knowing where to start again. So this is all from my stash. It is a variegated yarn with long color repeats, and that is from Ice Yarns. It's something with mohair in it. And the other one is also from Ice Yarns, and it's cotton soft, and it's a cotton acrylic blend. I just still got that one here. The other one just broke off the yarn and put it away. So, but you can see it's from grey to blue. See, that's how the body of the shawl works. And I think I'm gonna be I'm setting up for the border now. So this is gonna be the Cladonia shawl. I always watch my own podcast and try to see what I can improve, and something I did notice that I did really rapidly show you all the stuff, and then it moved away, and I looked at myself and said, I can't even focus, but you're already gone. So I hope I did a better job this time. Just trying to learn from myself is a good thing to do. Just gotta take a little bit of water. gotta show you most of the stuff. Just the finished objects is pretty weird. I'm so all over the place today because I always start with the finished objects. Sorry. Somebody gave me a lovely comment about how organized I am all the time. So I'm really sorry about this episode because don't know what's wrong, but probably wasn't awake that good to be organized. I never write down stuff, just the things that are really important about names and things I can't remember, but I always pile things up and start, and it comes together most of the time. So I finished, and now I'm gonna look, The Summer's End Mystery Nilong 2016, and it was Countercurrent, and it was a show I showed you a little bit a while ago. It was a very interesting knit. You got to look up what's the right and the wrong side because it's hardly visible. I can go back a little bit because it's quite big. See? It's finished. And it was a very nice construction because we knitted this way first and then we got to this point and then we picked up stitches and we knitted this part and then we changed direction again and we knitted this part, and almost the last piece I think I showed you was this part, the upper border, and we picked up some stitches along the top edge and then all the way around, and to knit this lovely border. That's just the bottom part, which it's lovely. It's not extremely special, I think, but it's very wearable because the winters don't get cold as they used to. But when your body is, at least my body is used to above the 20 degrees, 24, it's been a long time, it's been around 30 degrees a long time over here. And you kind of get used to that. And now it's about 5 or 6 degrees in the morning. And I really feel, I've got to put on my winter coat and I've got to put on my gloves and my shawl and all the kind of stuff because I'm so cold. And I think to myself, well, what's going to be when it's winter? But you get used to it. But now it's the time you really want to wear something, around your neck. And my hands get cold very easily. So I sit still on my scootmobile. It's I don't know if you call it a scootmobile. This is what we call it. It's for people who are disabled. And I've got my knees replaced when I was in the year 2000 and 2005. So they're quite a long time ago, and they work fine. But my the joint in my foot is totally messed up. There's nothing left of it really. So if I start walking, I can walk around in the house. That's no problem. But if I walk outside and when I do the grocery shopping and that kind of stuff, if I start walking, then I can't walk anything in the house because my foot is all swollen up. So I use the electric scooter and I go do my shopping on the thing. You can go into the store. We got a big supermarket over here, there's no problem. So that really helps me. What was I talking about? About sitting still, because if you're on a bicycle or in a car, you got no trouble at all, because of course, but you move yourself, you exercise, and you get warm. But if you sit still, you get cold very easily. So this will be very nice for me because there are no holes. It's just it's all garter stitch. So this will be very nice and warm. So and it's soft. It's my standard sock will be the Wildcat sock base in the future, and it's just soft enough to it's not scratchy at all. It's just, it feels stronger. Merino is really soft, and I'm really curious to see how that knits up as socks, because most of the time the softer it is, the less resistant to pilling. So maybe I'm wrong. I'm gonna knit everything in merino from now on, but yeah, this is soft enough. And I've got a purplish blue winter coat, so I think they match up pretty nice. The next one is this shawl is from Susanne Laviche, and it's the framboise shawl, and it was a test knit, and I already showed you the green one, and I made another one because the green one, the gauge was way off and it was smaller than she anticipated, and that's no problem. She doesn't make a fuss out of it, because she got more information if people knit it up differently. So more information to share for future buyers probably. But this one is in the 2 color, and it's my own yarn from merino, silk and cotton. And sorry, it's purple again. And the bottom is just a variegated yarn with purple and pinks and the picot edging. I love picot edging. Some people just don't like it, but I think it gives it a delicate touch. So this is the framboise shawl, and I finished that knit, and it is a bit bigger than the merino silk blend, which had a tighter gauge. I'm gonna go close up a little bit. It's very easy lace pattern. It's nothing difficult, and it's just the top edge is nice because of the little holes. I like that. It gives it a nice look. So I'm afraid it's all for now. Well, I'm afraid I'm 46 minutes. Sorry, didn't know the time was going that fast. I enjoyed myself. Thank you for all the people who commented on my podcast. I really, I told the Dutch people about it. They got real emotional because, yeah, it means a lot to me. And I already told them this is a knitting community is composed. I'm not sure if that's the right word, but there are so much lovely people there, and a lot of people need their knitting and their crafting to heal themselves emotionally, maybe physically. Because it's relaxing. It takes away the pain and takes your mind off things. And if somebody is reaching out to you and telling you nice stuff and just saying hello from Australia, and you're starting to think, you think somebody's on the other side of the world, and they enjoy seeing you talk about the stuff you like, and yeah. That makes you feel real warm inside, and yeah, I'm getting emotional again. But it's really how I feel, and I know there are a lot of people struggling with health problems, and sometimes you feel real alone, because you can only feel your own pain, and you got to deal with it. And of course, there are people who can say nice things, but in the end. You got to do it yourself, and sometimes that's hard. And if there's somebody from the other side of the ocean and he says, "Hi, it's nice to see you," just makes the world of difference. Sorry. So thank you all. Thank you all for spending the time with me. Thank you all for listening to me. I hope this was interesting, no matter what. I was really all over the place. I'm sorry. I think there was some lovely stuff that I showed you. I hope you got some inspiring ideas. I'm maybe trying some socks. I really feel the urge to give you something back. Thank you for sticking by me. There are 24 subscribers, and sometimes people laugh and they say, 24, really? Are you happy about that? And I just think like, 24, if I can grab you all and pull you towards me and sit you on the table with me. 24 people is a lot of people, and if I can call you friends, you are a lot of friends. Thank you very much. It's just this, and yeah, it would be great maybe if you have 1,000 subscribers, but I think 1,000 people, you're not going to know them all, and you're not going to be able to interact with them all. So I'm happy with 24. Thank you very much. Go enjoy the Ravelry group. The Ravelry group. I will put a link for you down here, because that will be easier. And there's going to be a thread up there, and I'm going to ask you nice questions, and maybe you want to ask me some questions. There is already a thread that says, here to say hello, zeg even hallo, that's in the Dutch. So it doesn't matter if you speak English. I can read English, I can read German, Dutch of course. I can't write German very well, that will be... yeah, it would be difficult. It's a long time back since I learned that. But I can read it, it's not a problem. So, yeah, just say hello. And if you say hello, I'm going to say something back. And if you got something to say to me or whatever, you can leave a comment here. You can go over to Ravelry. For the people who doesn't know Ravelry and are crafty people, please go and have a look, because it's free. You have to subscribe to them. Subscribe? Is it subscribe? You have to log in. So you got to give yourself a username, and yeah, you got to sign in. So there won't be any emails you're getting from there, no spam or whatever. It's just a lot of people are there on there, podcasters, designers. You can find thousands of patterns of dolls, blankets, coats, you name it, and it's on there. There's a search section where you can, if you say I've spun up 1,000 yards, what can I make of 1,000 yards? You just put a little thingy in there, a little mark, and it shows you all the patterns that were made for 1,000 yards, and a special gauge. You can put it in there. You can put a mark if you just want to see free patterns. It's great. And if you look for people to communicate, there are lots of groups related, of course, to podcasts. Maybe you're watching some podcast and you think, well, what do you gotta say if there are giveaways on knit-alongs? Then you can find it there. Yesterday there very big box from Germany arrived with a new bear yarns for me to dye, so that's always very exciting. Didn't even open the box yet, because I don't know if you know, but the bear yarns, they really smell, and I don't mean a good smell. I know wool has a certain smell, but it's so strong because there's probably 4 kilos of bear wool in there, and the stuff is just smelly. I always wash my yarns that are finished with a very nice hair wash with conditioner, which makes it soft and smells. It's just a soft smell, and so it won't be smelly if you get it. But just something, I had the box still closed because I'm gonna open it outside and just yeah, let it clean the air a little bit. So, I don't think there's any much to say for me now. I hope you enjoyed this one. I think I already told you 3 times, but I still hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, comments. I will put things in there where you can find me. I'm all over the place. If you want to email me directly, you can. You can email me on Yolanda Loves Yarn. It's just one word. And then the @ and then the gmail.com, so I can respond to you personally. Maybe you don't like anybody to read your comments or whatever. So thank you for watching. I hope you see me. I see you, and you will see me in about 2 weeks. Well, happy crafting and have a lovely 2 weeks. Bye. See you.